Hello and welcome to yet another episode on the Issachar podcast. I'm your host, Obiokwe Chisom, and I'm thrilled to have you on this episode. Just to know, how are we all doing? I hope the Hamatan that has refused to go is not disturbing too much. Looking on the bright side, it helps actually, wherein you can wash your clothes and in the next 1 hour, you're putting it on. All right, without further ado, let's get straight into what we have for today. We'll be discussing building valuable relationship and with navigating the complexities of building valuable relationship. Now, it's one thing to build a relationship. It's not everybody that builds valuable relationship, and then it's another thing to maintain it. So we'll be discussing that on today's episode, and with me are our guests. For today's episode, I'll let them say something about themselves. So,
Yeah. Hello, Chidera Joy something. I'm a graduate of nursing sciences. I'm a Christian storyteller
okay,
that handle online jobs like book editing, virtual assistants, and academic writing. Global
yes,
scout.
Celebrate.
And a lot of all round development. And it's it.
Okay, thank you so much for being on our show today. Say for me, sir.
All right. My name is Obed Chukunaza Okonna. I'm a land surveyor by training. I'm a digital entrepreneur. I run a brand that's into graphic design, video editing, and some other digital media specialties. I'm a youth mentor. I'm a leadership coach. Okay, again, yeah, I'm a scriptwriter. I'm a drama minister and a minister of the gospel.
Nice. Okay, so people of God, did you get something from their introduction? They are script writers. So if you're an aspiring script writer and you are watching this episode, stay tuned to receive grace to write since our speakers are both writers. All right, so let's get right into what we have today. So we'll be talking about building valuable relationships, not just relationship, and then not just building, maintaining. So I'd like to know from each of you what building valuable relationship means to you, and how can someone identify that a relationship is valuable, like that they are having valuable or they have valuable relationship with somebody or some people. I'll start with you.
Okay, I'll start by um explaining what building is majorly assembling materials together
Okay.
to erect a structure. As in, and building is definitely something that takes energy. It will take you a little effort. So for me, I would say building valuable relationship is building a very helpful relationship. It's building structures around you. It's building having a foundational structure that can help you as an individual. You know that adage that says, "Show me your friend," and I will tell you who
Yeah.
you are. Is very true. Like very very true. So I see building valuable relationship as building an advantageous relationship.
Okay.
Yes, that would
All right. Thank you so much. Let's hear from Mr. Opet.
Okay. Just to add some things to what she said, I picked the word effort.
Mm-hmm.
Now, building takes effort. You can stumble into a relationship that you don't even know how it came about, but nobody stumbles into valuable relationships.
Yeah.
It takes effort, conscious effort from the parties involved to make that relationship valuable. Now, the second part of the question is how do you identify the relationship is valuable?
Mm.
Number one, a relationship that is valuable, she used the word advantageous.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it simply means that the both parties to that relationship are gaining value from that relationship.
Okay.
So be it interpersonal relationship, business relationship, a romantic relationship, any kind of relationship. So far as all the parties involved are gaining and giving value. So there are usually different kinds of relationship. Let me just mention two. We have a parasitic relationship where the host is the one giving out, while the parasite is the one
Just taking.
receiving. Then we also have a symbiotic or mutualistic relationship where the both parties are giving and receiving. So a valuable relationship in the light of these two examples is a mutualistic relationship.
Nice. So now we're talking science. Okay, that's really good. Thank you for this definition and explanation. So what we're basically talking about is a mutual relationship. A valuable relationship is not a parasitic relationship, right? All right. Okay. So I would also like to know from each of you. Um, can you give me like how will I put it? An example of a valuable relationship that you've nurtured maybe over the years or over the days and is valuable to you. You're reaping from it. Yeah, you know you're reaping from it. Is there do you have any relationship like that? I mean you don't used to keep valuable relationship. Okay. Let's start Mr. Obed, let's hear from me.
I think my trouble now is knowing which one to mention.
Ah,
I have a lot of valuable
okay.
relationships, a lot. And why I say a lot is because I personally make conscious efforts to make every of my relationships valuable. Um, okay, let me cite one example. When I was on campus, I served as a leader in different positions and levels from group to area to regional. And one thing I ensured I did was that at each level, the people I was elected together to serve with. Now, by responsibility, we have to relate. That one is by responsibility. But then beyond that responsibility, I consciously made sure that I was friends with them. So let's assume I'm president, you're secretary. It doesn't have to be when there is a work to do that I say, secretary, please do this, do this. You can get to discuss outside official um, duties. You get. So one of the things I did was that even after handing over, I had to make sure that the bond I built with each of those persons at those different levels are maintained. Let me use one of them as an example. Like I said, in 2019, I served as regional president of SUCF, and I was privileged to serve with a group of persons, five in number, so plus me making it six. And our service period lasted for just some months between, let's say, between April and December, so even not up to a year. But the friendship we have has outlasted 5 years.
Mm,
Now, it's as if our bond even became stronger after we handed over the official relationship. What made that relationship valuable? We get to meet together, we get to share our challenges together, pray together. You know, we are each interested in the lives of one another.
okay.
We are giving out, we are receiving. It's a community where you can be free at any time to say this is what is happening to me. Like we don't feel there's no fear of vulnerability.
Mhm.
We can be vulnerable with one another without fear of anything. We can pray for one another. We've built even business relationships within the financial community, like
Nice.
different kinds of
Wow.
value just within that small community.
Wow.
So that's just
Wow.
one out of many of such
Wow.
relationships.
Ah, now imagine if you have like 50 valuable friends. Is it possible?
It is. It is.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let your Miss Joy come in here from you.
Okay, I'll start by saying most of the valuable relationship I've had has come from the place of prayers. I'll not even lie because I'm someone that sometimes I feel like I'm not so good with keeping up with friendship. Like I mean, it's not like I'm introverted, but sometimes you find me finding it hard to get across to someone to know how well they are doing. But I've seen God help me. And when I crossed over, when I was still a student at UNIC, I connected with a friend. That was 2019. That was way before 2019 we connected, but we are more became more closer 2019. So even in that relationship, up to now we are still friends. You can see us checking, looking after each other, asking us if we are asking each other how well we are growing. We have sessions where we talk for hours and hours, and we are asking ourselves, this is not, we trust God to help us in this life. There is more to us. There is more that we can do. I love that kind of relationship, especially for me that is a lady. There's a tendency to talk with fellow co-ladies, and in that discussion, there may not really be something tangible or valuable. There's nothing to learn from that discussion, but both of us are intentional, being intentional. We are both intentional to ensure that we are growing all over, we are doing well. You see us calling each other and saying, you said if you do this, you have not done it. I trust God for you, I'm praying for you. So I've seen, even in this my, I've not gotten intention yet. So but I've seen people working, doing things. I mean, people, they are more interested in my life than as I am, and
Wow.
I'm grateful to God for that. That people are interested in it. They say, "There, right? So you mentioned about this before. You've not done it. Go and do it." I'm sure I've just done.
Wow. Okay. That's really nice. But like that means we all knew Sha, but not everybody know. Not everybody knows that valuable relationship. That there's a difference in just relationship, building relationship and valuable relationship. You can I'm already seeing the benefits of having valuable friends around. Anyways, okay, so you said something about prayer, like your friends, most of them are going to prayer. I want to ask, like, how do you know, or is it even possible that someone came to your life as a product of God's plan for your life? Like someone enters your life as God's plan for you. Like, okay, if it's possible, is it possible? I'm asking.
I would say very possible. I mean,
Mr. Opet, is it possible?
Very possible.
Okay, so how do you discern that this person is coming into your life as a product of God's plan? How do you discern that? Is anybody that is coming? You're like, this person looks like God's plan for me, shall it's just accommodate. So how do you discern? Mr. Obed.
Okay, I like the word you use, discern. And discernment is actually a gift of the spirit. So the first how is that you should have a relationship with God.
Okay.
It's when you have a relationship with God, you know when God talks to you. There are things that look like it's the voice of God or it's the hand of God that is actually set and working behind the scene. And there's no way of differentiating which is coming from God and which is not if you don't know how God deals with you. So the first way is having a relationship with God, a functional relationship with God. Then being sincere with God is another, because something the Bible says that he that has faith must show himself friendly. Now you cannot be asking God to give you a valuable relationship when you yourself you are not a valuable friend to anybody. God does not play those kind of pranks. You get. So being sincere with God, God knows that you are making efforts to add value to the life of someone around you. And then there is also a gap in your life that you want God to fill by bringing someone. No, this is not just about marriage. You get. God can bring people to fill different gaps in your life at different stages. So when you have a relationship with God and you are sincere with God, when those friends come, one thing you should also know how to do is how do I put it? Now you know what Mary did. Mary, the mother of Jesus. There were different points when some things around Jesus' life was happening, she did not understand. The Bible says, "And Mary treasured these things in her heart." So we should be people that are sensitive and meditative.
Okay.
Sometimes you might just need to sit back, observe the way this my friendship with this person came about. How you get in that moment of meditation, God might point your mind back to maybe a prayer you made sometime and you be like, oh, no wonder this happened. Yeah, but if you are just take everybody, you just see someone today and next thing you have started telling the person all your problems. You wouldn't be sensitive to know the ones that should stay and the ones that should go.
Okay. Wow. 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 My will be writing a book on this episode. Okay. Miss Joy, let's hear from you.
okay. I don't want to use the cliche that if you just know. Most times these valuable people, like the valuable, if God connected the both of you together, you see the both of you having the same vision, having the same almost the same goal, having the same persuasion that you guys want to do it correctly. Um, Sometimes it just, I don't know how to explain it, but because you're working with God, when such kind of persons come around you, and with proper evaluation, like my guest said, you'll be able to know that this one, God has actually brought this one at this season and at this particular time. So it's something that should be maximized. And we have a lot of biblical scriptures in the Bible. We had, we know Daniel. Daniel had Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Imagine if it was just Daniel alone standing for God and saying, "I will not eat meat, the king's meat." Daniel could know that out of the people that was brought into exile, all of them, that these are three valuable friends that God has connected him together so they can stand strong at this season. So when you see such kind of people, if you know both of you are connected to God, both of you have the same passion for God, both of you are trusting, which no one does.
Okay. So basically, before we even start talking about discernment, you have to have a relationship with the person you are seeking discernment from. That's just it. And then every other thing comes in from firstly having a relationship with God. And okay. Um I also okay. So I also feel like you said there's a one of you said that um at some point in your life you feel like this person just came in at and is helping, or at this particular time. Does it mean it's only when, let's say, you're facing a challenge or you're in a phase in your life and the person comes? Yeah, you already know that this person is from God. But is it only when you're facing challenges or when you are passing through a phase that that God can send people, or can He send somebody for the future? Like this person comes in now, but the plan is for future, not really what's going on with you now. Is he? I don't know. Can you explain that as well, Mr. Please?
I would say definitely, God does not need to just send us valuable friends because of our need. Most times, you will see, if you are truthful to yourself, most times you will notice that it's even among your valuable friends that God will pick to answer your questions. But God still has his way of doing things, that when you are in need, in a particular need for something, or you need someone to encourage you on something, or you need someone to guide you, to counsel you, or to mentor you, he can send someone, he can send a different person, and both of you connect together. But that does not
Okay.
mean that all my valuable friends, they had to come when I was in need. So even beyond that need, it's wisdom for you to also maintain that relationship. I for personal Someone like me, I don't belittle anyone at all, whether small, whether old. I don't see anyone as small. I don't see anyone as someone that God cannot use tomorrow. Um I don't know whether it's statistics that said it, that you are three persons away from to getting your problem solved, or to your answers. So the problem is not even about me being friends with you, but who is the person that is connected to also your friend. Maybe my prayer may be, oh Lord, I want to meet this person. I want to connect with this a particular figure. But I'm not even concerned about, like, to connect to that figure is the person's friend. I mean, your friend's friend is
Yeah,
the
it's
person's
possible.
brother, something like that. Your
Okay.
friend's friend is the
Okay. Okay.
person's friend.
Yeah.
So it's not only when there's situations or problems that valuable things out.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now,
Sorry, let me just add something to
okay.
that.
Okay. Please do.
I think we should be able to differentiate between a challenge and a need. Now,
Okay.
we might not always have challenges, but we always have needs. So, in a particular, why I'm saying is that God brings people into our lives always because of a need, not necessarily a challenge.
Okay.
So, maybe at a particular season, it looks like if everything is going all right with you, you are succeeding. What you might need at that point is direction. It's not necessarily like you are depressed or something, like you are facing a challenge, but you need direction at that point. At some other point, what you might need is company. Some other point, what you might need is maybe you are beginning to veer off your vision, even though you are succeeding on, you get, or you are beginning to veer off your vision, God might need to send someone to redirect you. You get, so at every point, God brings people into our life because of needs. Now, like he said, not just present needs, but then future needs too.
Okay. All right. Not just present, it's future needs too. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for each of your explanation to that. I'm sure it has answered someone's question somewhere. Okay, so you were talking about, oh, most of you said it actually, but um, having shared goals or maybe sharing the same faith. Can you even have keep friends that are not in the same faith, like with you? And then what is this they used to call it? Not being biased. Is that it? I mean, but can you like keep a friend that is not sharing the same faith with you, and can such a friend be valuable, or must it be someone that is sharing the same faith as you? Miss Joy.
Let me not say this is hard to answer, but sometimes your valuable friend may not share the same faith with you. There are many platforms that brings relation. There are many let's say connections that bring people together. Maybe a business connection, maybe a leadership connection that is outside Christian faith. So because the person is not of the same faith, should not mean that I shouldn't treat them right, or I shouldn't treat them, I shouldn't give them mutual respect as they deserve. But we all know ourselves. Definitely, like you can't keep someone that is so close to you. I mean, someone that you can call your, let me just say, use that word, best friend, or someone that you can call your right hand man, and the person is not of the same faith with you. I don't encourage that. But if it's on a business contract relationship, casual, just casual friendship, that's okay. The person, such persons can come in because they might help you. They may be the, I don't, just be open to friendship.
Yeah.
But when you are in need, the right person to go to. Such person has their limitations or boundaries to
So what they can
what they
say
can
to
do.
you. Okay. Do you have anything to say, sir?
Okay, let me just point us to levels of relationship. In levels of relationship, you have people you call a general acquaintance.
Mm,
From general acquaintance, you have casual friends, you have close friends, you have intimate friends. Now, at each of these levels, you can have valuable relationships. You can have valuable relationship with an acquaintance, like it's just a casual classmate, just someone you're living in the same compound with.
mm,
It doesn't have to be close to
mm.
be valuable.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
when you are dealing with someone that is not of the same faith, there is there is a limit to which you allow the person graduate in that level of friendship. But whatever limit it is, let it still be valuable. So even like she used an example of maybe a business relationship. Business relationship can stop at the level of casual friendship.
Mm,
You get, someone can be your business partner that you are interacting with every time, not necessarily your close friends. So even at that level, keep it valuable, but it doesn't have to be intimate. What the Bible
okay.
says about intimate friendship is you should not be unequally
Yeah.
yoked with unbelievers.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense now. Because I was thinking that to have a valuable friend or to keep valuable friendship, it must be close. It must be close, like intimate.
Not necessarily.
Okay. All right. So, like, how will you explain to somebody, or what advice will you give to somebody that is just starting off? Some people actually don't like friends. Like, there are people that want to be on their own by all means. They don't like, it's not like they're keeping malice with anybody, but thing is they're always on their own. They like their space. So how will you advise someone like that that wants to, you know, come out of her space or his or her space and start building a valuable relationship? How will you explain to that person? How will you tell that person to start? How do I build a valuable relationship? That's the question. Mr. Rupert.
Maybe let's start from someone that came out. I think she mentioned something like that in about
Yes.
me.
Okay.
I've always been
Michelle, Michelle,
out.
you said that you are somebody that does sometimes you don't used to look out ahead. So how do you advise me now? Say I want to. I've always been this kind of introverted person. I really don't want to socialize. I just want to be on my own. But now hearing this all this and hearing the importance of it, how do you advise me or how do you suggest I start building a valuable relationship?
I'll say the person should start by evaluating himself or herself. Start by asking yourself, how can I become valuable?
Okay.
Because what you're offering is a valuable relationship. So for there to be a valuable relationship between two parties, both of you must have a value to share together. Like you have a value to share with your friend or something like that. So start by saying, how can I become valuable? And when you identify them, please start working on them, because if you just find yourself having valuable friends, they are like, how did I come here? But the little things or the little foundations, you can start by saying, maybe the reason why I'm not having valuable friends is because I'm not being open to replying my messages. I'm not being open to friendship. I'm not trusting enough. I'm not committing enough. So you just ask yourself, why have I not had, why don't I have valuable friends around me? And to tell you, some situations will bring you to a point where you ask yourself that, wait, though, I have many people around me, but I don't even have
Yes,
anybody to
yes,
talk.
very, very
You have
possible.
100 contacts, but situations arise and you can't even call one. So that's a very bad, that's not a good situation to be at all. So when you now define what's making you, what's causing the situation, please start working on it. Trust God to work on it. I won't say that all my valuable friends, I talk to them, I'm always in their DM. No,
Mm.
some people mistake that having valuable friends mean every minute of the day you're in their DM checking them up. It was not necessary, but anytime both of you connect together, how do you genuinely care for this person? How are you genuinely interested in this person to ensure that this person is, and this your friend is growing, is getting better at what they are doing? That's my own.
Okay. Yeah. So Mr. Bet, can you not talk?
Okay. I think knowing the purpose of a thing is what prevents the abuse. You know, they say when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. Now we must understand that first of all, God created man as a social being.
Okay.
Social scientists will say as a social animal, but we are not animals. God created man as a social being. That was why right from the first person he created, Adam had everything he needed to be himself. But God still said it was not good for him to be alone. I know in that context it was applied to marriage, but beyond just marriage, God was making a statement that nobody was created to be an island. So when you first of all understand that friends are gifts from God, men are gifts from God. God's greatest gifts are not in form of any other thing apart from man. You get. Now sometimes some people might have had bad experiences or have heard people have bad experiences, and because of that close their hearts to friendship. But
Mm.
understand first of all that men are still gifts from God.
Mm. That's
Then every other thing
nice.
she said come from.
Wow. Wow. So it's not even advisable. It's not even biblical for you to want to be on your own. Okay. It's not, and sure, it's alright. So first of all, I would have to assess myself, evaluate myself. It's not just you decide, okay, let's say I know one day stay on my own again, or I go find friend. I have to access myself. Can I be valuable to the person or the people that I'm going to be friends with? Okay, thank you so much. I'm learning a lot, and I'm very sure that every other person on this watching with us is learning as well. Okay, so I want to know, okay, we've been talking about building, learning how to build, and now it's one thing to build and it's another thing to maintain. So I would like to know, like, how do you prioritize your relationship we already know that it's supposed to be valuable. So how do you prioritize your relationship in when everything just becomes overwhelmingly busy, like both your academics, business, everything, like everything is just busy. So how do you prioritize maintaining your relationship with people? Do you just, I get some people that would want to just sit down and shut off every other thing from every other person and then focus there, like focusing on their life without, well, how do you prioritize maintaining a relationship when every other thing is overwhelmingly busy? Mr. Opet.
Okay, I think the first thing there is selflessness. At every point, you feel like the reason why you shouldn't reach out, why you shouldn't do another thing with anybody is because you are going through a lot. There is a delusion that comes with that feeling. That delusion is that you are the only one going through a lot. Right? Now,
Actually.
the same way you are in your shell, wishing that maybe someone could just reach out without you having to.
Mm,
The person you're waiting for
he's also
might
waiting
also
for
be
you.
going through a lot. You get.
Yeah.
And sometimes personally I've discovered that when you give out, you get relieved too. You get. So sometimes you even get encouraged by encouraging others.
Okay.
You get. So the how to prioritize it is first of all understanding that nobody is an island of problems. Whatever you are going through,
Somebody else.
somebody else is going through, even if not exactly the same thing, maybe something else or even something worse.
Was.
So don't throw a pity party and just be feeling like nobody cares. Everybody should just stay on their own and handle themselves. That's the first thing. And secondly, understand that the Bible said, "Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ." Funny enough, it was in that same passage that same chapter the Bible said, "Let every man bear his own body." So you are meant to bear your body, but then also bear that of others. You get. And for me, if there's one thing that gives me fulfillment, it's just the fact that in any little way I can be the reason why someone else will say thank God.
Oh, that's really nice. Wow. It was joy. Just add something.
Okay. First of all, what is valuable to you? Anything that is valuable to anyone, such a person will always make time for it. Something is valuable to you, definitely have to make out time for it. So when you are surrounded, when it's inevitable, there are times even me, I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be in the comforts of my room. I don't want to be alone. But that's not when you know the consequence of what you're about to do. That can also encourage you that in the long run, if you're behaving in such a way, is that how you want to build? Is that how you want to build your future? That people will comment that I can't even be so close to this girl. She's so selfish. Whenever she just wants to be on her own, she just goes on her own and that's like everyone. So that's not a good way. So it's something I have to intentionally make out time for. And if it's someone that maybe if you need to set a timer or schedule or do scheduling method to help you, you can say every Wednesdays I must get across to a friend. Apart from replying my messages, every Wednesday, all those long time friends I've not heard of, I don't know how they are doing. I'll call them and genuinely check up on them. 100 naira airtime, not be so bad.
Yeah.
Just you can intentionally do that, incorporate it, or it may not be specific on any week of the day. If maybe Wednesdays are so busy for you, you can just say within this week I must get across to someone. If you don't have a time, there is many social platforms, and even four naira SMS
SMS, yeah.
can definitely go a long way. I know I've received messages like to my phone. The people you esteem high, that definitely. I would say relationship, like I follow. There are people that are ahead of you. Definitely, you're looking up to them as mentors, as fathers, and there are people that is more like acquaintances, your close friends within the same age peer group, and there are people that are also looking up to you. So whenever I receive an SMS message or encouraging message from people I look up to, I'm like, who am I? It's not. I don't say oh, I'm encouraging you. So I know that such text messages that put smiles on my face, I can be that for someone else. So maintaining it is just having that heart of sincerity to know that you actually care for this person, even if you have not spoken with the person for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even a month. Let me not even act like it's regular, even a month. But when you, both of you connect, you will still see that love, that unified, that desire
Yeah,
to
I
ensure that the other
understand.
person is okay and they are doing well.
Yeah, I understand. Wow, this is, thank you so much. Like, I'm gaining, me particularly, I'm gaining a lot from this discussion. Okay, so I wanted to know, is prayer a factor for maintaining valuable relationship? Like praying for your friends, praying with your friends, and vice versa. Is it a factor? Anybody? Is this fit is leading you answer the question? I'm not calling anybody.
Okay, let me go up. Yes, so I know I've made calls before making the calls. I say, Holy Spirit, I'm guilty. I'm like maybe you've not checked up on the person for 3 weeks, a month. Then even I had one for up to 2 months. I'm like, God, I can make this plan. I'm feeling guilty. I don't know how it will be, but just help me like this outcome. I genuinely care for this person. So prayer has goes a long way. Prayer goes a long way. Even in praying for your friends. One thing I envision for myself is that if God helps me in life, I'll look around and I'm seeing my friends like also doing well in their space of life. That's where the joy comes from and comes from that I'm doing well and my friend is also doing well in whatever thing they are doing. So prayer goes a long way. Praying for your friends that they get it right, praying for your friends that they are encouraged. Because if they get it wrong, it's you that will cry too. I mean, you have grace to be consoling your friends. Me, I don't have that grace. So I just say, Lord, help them order their steps, let them do the right thing. So it's prayer that connects. Definitely, prayer goes a long way in maintaining
Praying with as well, not just praying for,
exactly.
praying with.
Yes, praying with a friend as much as okay. Another culture I used to imbibe with my especially intimate friends is you won't end a call without praying. Despite no matter
Wow,
how casual it is, at the end
wow,
I say
wow,
just
wow.
say a word of prayer. Just pray. It may not be sometimes 30 seconds mass, but it's something just saying God help us.
Nice. Okay, Mr. Obed, I have a different question for you. How do you how do you manage conflicts without losing the bond? Like, obviously, people are friends, people fight. So how do you like manage conflicts with your friends without losing? And people, there are people that have communication issues actually. Like sometimes people, it's not like they're keeping malice, but they don't want to come and talk, or is it that they don't even know how to come and tell you this is what you did to me. Why there are other people that like they will tell you pump and clear. You vexed me yesterday. So how do you resolve conflicts without breaking the bond? And especially with these two opposite people, this one don't like talking, and is always you that will come and say what happened. Yeah, drawing back or something like that, and this other person likes to tell you. So how do you do
I'm
something like
wondering
that?
why you directed this question at me. Have you seen me having conflicts
No,
before?
yeah, discreet led.
All right. Well, funny enough, I've been in those kind of situations a number of times. Don't misunderstand it. I don't mean I cause trouble.
Okay.
So I witnessed conflict situations. Some have been parties. Now, what it takes in the simplest form for a conflict to arise is disagreement,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily quarrel. I say it has to be this way. The other person say no, it has to be the other way. There's already a conflict. Now, um, these are the principles I personally use in conflict resolution. The first one is in I can't remember the exact passage, but that was where Paul was writing a letter to the Corinthians. I think it should be in First Corinthians. He was addressing the fact that they say they are spiritual, they have gifts, but then there are conflicts among them. And he asked the question, why would you take your matter to the courts? Why is it that you can't resolve it within yourselves? Now, the one question he pointed there, which for me answers the solution to every conflict. The question is, why not rather let yourself be different? That question always revolves around my head each time I witness a conflict situation. Now, what it takes for conflict to be managed, number one, is for one person, it doesn't even take two people, one person to step down.
Okay.
Just one person. You get.
Mm-hmm.
So once the two of us agree we are right and nobody wants to compromise, that conflict will remain. Sometimes I see myself apologizing for what I did not do. You get. The reason I'm doing it is not because I'm weak. It's not because I don't have the ability to say lie lie, my own must happen. But then I think I value peace more than even success. You get, like, instead of it to be that I insisted and then I had my way and then everybody saw that yes, you are the strong person, and then there is already a fracas between me and somebody else. You get. I rather, no, this is in a case where there is no compromised value. You get. Of course, if while we are disagreeing is an issue of faith, of course I have to value what I have with God first before what I have with
Mm-hmm.
you. But once it is not something that has a dent on my faith, number one, like I said, is one person should just agree to step back. And the truth is that the person that steps back is the wiser one. He might look weaker, he might look foolish, but it's actually wiser and stronger. Secondly, is effective communication. I don't know how people do it. So like, you're having issue with somebody, you carry your own in your heart. This person carry your own in your heart. People are going about your normal lives. I don't have that strength. Like, if I have an issue, or even if someone has an issue with me, you get, me myself that might be at the receiving end, I'm not at peace. You get. I wonder how you read the Bible, have quiet time successfully, days and weeks, and God is not telling you anything in your heart about, you get. For me, my heart will not be at peace. So in many situations, I see myself being that one that will try to initiate the, okay, see, I think this and this. Let's see how to resolve it. So avoidance mechanism doesn't is not the solution. Some people say, well, let everybody just stay on their own. I don't have any issue with you, but
Yeah.
I just don't. It's not true. You're not sincere. You get. Avoidance mechanism is not always the solution. So the first I mentioned about stepping back. Then the other thing is speaking up. You get. Wounds when covered don't heal. They only worsen. It's better you open it. If you open it, yes, it will be painful, but then the healing will be faster. So if there is an issue between the parties in a relationship, whoever is the wiser person that wants to speak up should bring up, open the room, let everybody
Yeah.
look at it. You get, this is what you did, I'm not happy about it. And then the third thing is forgive. Let your forgiveness not be dependent on apology or repentance. You
Wow.
get. Some people will say, I'm telling you these things that you did so that you will know and so you will apologize.
Mm-hmm.
The person you are telling might not agree to apologize.
Mm.
Decide in your heart that why you are saying it is to clear your heart, and then you forgiving the person, even if the person does not apologize. Because sometimes some people, by speaking up, even worsen the case, because that speaking up is not like they are trying to just clear their heart. They are trying to make sure that the other party sees it the way they are seeing it, and the conflict might just escalate. You get. So there are a lot of things. Let me just say one word that
Hmm.
summarizes
Oh
this.
my god. Hey.
Please don't
I,
let me down. One word that summarizes it
oh
is
my god.
just the
Wow.
selfless.
Wow. Oh my god. So
Just the
let me
selfless.
just let me just this is this is wonderful. This is wonderful. There's another thing in relationships, and that's giving and receiving. Now, like how do you balance giving and receiving in relationship to ensure mutual respect? The emphasis on the respect. Like it may not be coming from both of us as friends, but then people outside they will always be like, "Nini, nini, oh yeah, nini, 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 nini." Every time you're giving this person, you're giving this person. Do you even used to receive? So how do you balance? And some people are like, "Don't give me, don't worry, I can keep giving." I know people are like that actually. They just want to be giving you. Don't give them. So how do you balance that to maintain mutual respect? Let me allow me to try to say.
I would say it takes wisdom more because I've seen an extreme end. Okay, I've had a situation when someone chatted me up today. Let me just start by saying you can't be friends with someone. Like you can't know everything about a person the same day. I mean, you chatted me up and you're asking me like it's literally feel like an interview session because you want to know everything about me today? There's still other days. So um in that balancing receiving and also giving, you have to first of all the both individuals have to understand that receiving and giving is not really it's not measured by a 50-50 scale. It may
Mm.
not really be measured that, oh, if you give me 50, I'll give you 50. If I receive 50, then expect to receive 50. No. Truthful is that most times in every relationship there is always one that has a higher edge over the other, like maybe financially, maybe I don't want to quote spiritually, but there's always someone that has a higher edge, or maybe has a higher knowledge, or someone that has a better experience than the other person. So you or see yourself as the one that is giving. The one that is giving should see himself or herself as a privilege. Like, you know what it means that someone within your age range, your peer group, is coming to you to ask for your wisdom. But if it entails that financial responsibility, please have be wise. Be wise. Ask for 2K today. Tomorrow ask for 2K. Calming down. Like, trust not to use other people to provide for you, because the person naturally may not even be thinking otherwise. But when you
Mm.
are consistently doing exhibiting this kind of attitude that you're always asking, and Bobby, you're not my blood sister, or whether you're my relative, you're just friends, understand? But I say God will help us sincerely. Whenever we have issues, we always have people that they are financially maybe not there yet, but they are they have a higher edge financially than us, and they are like, why should I even suffer? Why should I be hungry when I have this friend? But understand that you asked the friend for help yesterday. Just trust God. It takes wisdom, and I've seen many times that I don't even have to ask my friend, and I'll just see a lot in my phone. I'm like, oh shit. I've, God helping me up to this moment. I don't think I've been the one, like I can't remember me actually asking for financial aid, but I've seen like someone say, parents see me, I can't remember. I'm like, oh, please, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. And you guys at the receiving end, be very appreciative. Which one is someone sending money and you're like pens? You don't even say thank you,
Ah,
it's THK, or like they're not even showing appreciation. Like,
yeah.
there's something about you being at the receiving end, understanding that it's a privilege that God connected me with this person. Without this person, I wouldn't have maybe completed my fees for this. So
And
you're saying I'm grateful. I'm grateful. You're telling the person thing. Let the person know that you would have done more if you're in that situation. And just trust God. It just takes wisdom, and I just
and no matter how small it is, you
yeah.
have to. Hey, friends, we have to stop here. If I leave this our guest, I say we'll be writing a book. Like somebody will just stay and be writing a book on building valuable, because they are loaded. I mean, when you have script writers on your okay, so we've come to the end of today's episode, and like me, I'm sure you've learned valuable insights on building, and not just building, maintaining valuable relationship. And if you've learned something new, if this session has been insightful for you, if you feel like this is what somebody needs to hear, please don't hesitate to share to the person, like and subscribe to our channel. See, all these people that used to come and watch this thing, after watching, you just go without liking. It's not fair now, eh? After giving you what life, this thing, you just go like that. Please like and subscribe our channel, and stay tuned for more and more valuable episodes on this podcast. And thank you as well to our guests. Please make sure you thank them as well. They have been so wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on to speak to us on this episode. And this will be it for today. Thank you so much, and remain blessed.